Hey guys, it's Brittanybearmakeup here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm going to be showing you this beautiful Green with Envy makeup tutorial using the new Jaclyn Hill x Morphe palette. I went ahead and chose my favorite one, did some swatches of it so that I could show you guys how to get this gorgeous look. Don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you can be a part of my bear family. Like, share, comment, and as always guys, hit that subscribe button and keep on watching as I show you how to get this beautiful Green with Envy look using the new Jaclyn Hill palette.
You are now rocking with
Brittany, bitch.
Alright guys, let's go ahead and dive right in and get started on today's look. So the first step is going to be taking my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer and applying this onto my eyelids to act as a nice base. Then using a damp beauty blender, I'm just going to go ahead and blend it out very quickly. Alright guys, so for today's look, I'm going to be using the new Jaclyn Hill x Morphe collaboration palettes. So Jaclyn actually came out with a total of 4 palettes, each retailing for a total of $15, and you can actually buy the whole set of palettes for $49 bucks. I went ahead and chose my favorite palette today to put it to the test and see if we can create a really beautiful look with it, see how it blends, see what we think about the formula. So today I picked this palette. It has a really beautiful range of earthy tones, some metallic shades, and some gorgeous matte shades. So I'm going to start off by taking the shade Top Secret, and I'm going to be applying this onto my lid. To apply this, I'll be using a BH Cosmetics number 8 brush, and I'm going to be packing this on to create a little bit of dimension, almost as if I was creating a smoky eye. So as I'm placing the eyeshadow on, I am noticing some fallout from the shadow. I typically don't get that much from Morphe shadow, so I'm actually very surprised that this shade is doing that. But overall, the shade itself is a very beautiful color, but we're gonna have to blend it out to really put it to the test and see what we think. So after I went ahead and applied the shadow onto my lid, I'm going to be picking up a BH Cosmetics number 9 brush and using this to just kind of buff and blend the color into the crease and make sure it looks nice and flawless. Alright guys, so here's what it looks like once I went ahead and blended out the shade. I do have to say that I thought the shade was going to be a little bit more pigmented for the matte color in this palette. However, it did do the job, and we're going to go ahead and keep using some shadows from this palette to see what we think. So the next shadow really captivated my attention. It is called Coin, and I actually will add some swatches to this video so you guys can see how beautiful all of these shades are. But I'm going to be using Coin today and applying it onto my lid. For this, I'll be using a BH Cosmetics number 10 brush, and I'm going to add a little bit of Fix Plus to this to get it nice and wet so that I can apply it into the pigment. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and press this onto the lid. You guys, this pigment is so beautiful and creamy. Do we see how gold this looks? So right off the bat, guys, I have to say that this pigment is like game-changing. I definitely like the pigmented shade a little bit more than I like the matte shadow, but overall, this shade in itself makes the palette worth it. So 110%, this is like popping, guys. So I'm gonna continue placing this onto my lid, kind of carving out the eye. Alright guys, so once I went ahead and I pressed and packed the pigment onto the lid, this is what we're left with, guys. This is just so beautiful. This color Coin is like game changing. I don't think I've ever put something so vibrant on my eyes, and I'm loving this. So the next step to this look is going to be taking a small little brush. This is a Morphe M560 brush, and going back into the shade Top Secret, I'm just going to smoke on my waterline a little bit of that green eyeshadow to really create more dimension in the corner and finish off the look. Now I'm going to go ahead and swatch all the colors and insert them right now for you guys to see all of the pigments, and that way you guys can see which ones you like, if it's worth your money. I mean, I definitely think Coin is worth $15, so I would buy the palette. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera for a second, guys. I'm going to finish off the other side of my eye, clean up any fallout, and when I come back, we're going to get started on the foundation, highlight, and contour. So now that I went ahead and I applied my eyeshadow, and honestly, guys, I'm obsessed with this palette. Like, if I had one palette I had to choose from all of the ones that she is dropping, I have to say that this one with these gold, beautiful, earthy tone shades is definitely by far like, it's a hit, guys. So the next step for today's glam, my Green with Envy makeup tutorial, I'm going to be using my foundation to nicely slay my face. So today I'll be using my ELCIE Micro Sleek Foundation in the shade Warm Beige. So I'm patting this in on all the areas that I want to add a little bit extra coverage. So basically, mi cara. And what I love about this foundation is it's definitely very buildable, which is why I think this is such a great foundation for brides. I feel like it gives you every single thing that a bride could want, whether it's full coverage or whether it's very minimal. It's a great foundation for your wedding day. Also, guys, as I blend this out, I do want to mention that I was not able to finish my Father's Day video in time to launch it for, you know, Father's Day, obviously. So I will be filming a video with my dad because I want you guys to meet him. He is so funny and you guys will have a blast with that video, but I haven't figured out what exactly I want to do yet. So stay tuned for that. I'm sorry that I didn't have another game show video, but they will be coming back, guys. We're gonna bring some people on to Who Wants to Be a Thousandaire. It is now time to highlight my face. So for today, I'll be picking up my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and this is a very full coverage concealer, which gives you a very flawless finish. So I'm gonna apply one little pump onto my hand, and then taking my damp beauty blender, I'm gonna start by pressing this underneath both sides of my eyes. So we're applying this to all the areas that we really wanna push forward and bring light to. So on the bridge of my nose, my chin, as well as the lower part of my forehead. And then I'm gonna quickly just pat this product in. It does dry fairly quickly, fairly quickly. So you do wanna make sure that you work fast. Okay, so now that I went ahead and I concealed all of my dark under eye circles, it is now time to set our concealer and our foundation. And for this, I'm gonna be mixing my concoction. This time, I'll be using my banana powder as well as my powder, but this time in the shade Porcelain. So taking my damp beauty blender, I'm going to be pressing that onto my sponge and then packing this underneath my eyes as well as all the areas that I highlighted. On both sides of my eyes, as well as on my chin, the lower part of my contour, and the lower part of my forehead. So the next step is going to be to bronze myself. So while I let my face bake and really just absorb all of that powder to make sure that I last throughout the day, I'm going to be picking up a angled brush. This is the e.l.f. angled blush brush, and I'm going to be using a MAC Studio Fix powder. This is in the shade C6, so it's a little bit darker than my actual face. And I'm going to be using this to contour out my cheekbones and add a little bit of warmth to the rest of this fierceness we got going on. So starting with my cheekbones, I'm going to lightly begin buffing the color into them, creating that dimension on my face. So I'm really just packing this color in, and I'm going on the perimeter of my face and just kind of blending and melting that color all around to give me that overall nice bronzy glam. The next step is going to be to dust away the excess powder, and then we are going to contour our nose off camera using my 360 nose contouring brushes, which you can find my tutorial right over here if you guys check the link out. And when I come back, we're going to finish off the rest of our glam, our green with envy makeup look. All right, guys, so now that I went ahead and applied my eyebrows and I contoured my nose, we're gonna go ahead and finish off the final touches to today's look. So going back into my Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm going to be taking that Top Secret shade once again and a Morphe M560 brush, and I'm going to lightly be smoking this a little bit underneath my eye. Doing the same thing on the other side. Now I did add a little bit of translucent powder under my eyes to make sure that there's no fallout, and if there is, I can just wipe it right away. So now that I went ahead and I applied the smokiness under my eye, I'm gonna go ahead and take some mascara and apply that to my lashes to prep them for the false lashes we are going to be placing on top. So picking up my Lancome Monsieur mascara, I'm going to be applying this a top coat to my upper lashes as well as to my bottom lashes. So the false lashes that I'm going to be using today is going to be one of my favorite lashes of all time. You guys probably already know, my Salon Perfect lashes. So what I like to do is I like to cut a little bit towards the end of the lash, leaving just about 3 little pieces all together. This is going to give me a very beautiful wispy illusion to my eye and actually make my eyes look a little bit more upturned and cat-like. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of adhesive and then make sure that I stick them on so they don't fly away. So one of the final touches is going to be a little bit of blush onto my cheekbones. So going in with my Morphe blush palette, this is the blush palette, I just said that. So it is the 8W blush palette. I'm going to be picking up that same angled e.l.f. brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Goals and Sweet and mix those two to give me the perfect blush cheeks. So just applying this onto the apples of my cheeks and blending it into my bronzer. So to add a little bit of highlight to my face, I'll be taking my The Balm Cosmetics Mary Luminizer and applying a little bit of highlight right above the blush and the bronzer. Right on my forehead to give it a little bit of that shine. And then I also like to take this color and kind of pop it into the corner of my eye to make them pop. Alright guys, so here's what we look like this far. The final touch to today's look is going to be my lips. For the lip liner, I'll be taking my KKW Beauty Lip Liner in shade number 2. And I'm going to begin by outlining my lips. After I went ahead and did that, I'll be taking my shade number 1 from my KKW Beauty lipsticks. And I'm going to be applying this to the center of my lips and blending it out. So after I placed the lipstick on, I wanted to just go in with a quick little liner and just add a very thin line to kind of create a little bit more dimension to my eyes. And then we are all finished with this look. I'm going to go off camera, zhuzh my hair a little, and I'll come back to show you guys the final glam. Alright guys, so here is the final look using the new Jaclyn Hill x Morphe palette. I don't really wear color often, and I've been playing with colors on my channel lately, and I feel like every look that I've done with a bright, vibrant color has been my favorite look. I hope all of you guys loved today's tutorial. If you guys did, then don't forget to give me a big ol' thumbs up, like, share, comment, and as always guys, hit that subscribe button so you can be subscribed to my channel, and I will see all of my bear family in the next video. Bye guys!